Hey everyone, welcome back to English So podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Jordan. Today we're diving into something that honestly hits way too close to home for most English learners around the world.
Oh God, yes. The dreaded Google Translate English. You know what I'm talking about. When someone speaks English, but it sounds like they literally translated each word from their native language in their head first.
Exactly. Like, I am very happy to see you today morning instead of great to see you this morning.
Or my personal favorite, can you help me to do this work?
It's technically correct, but it sounds so robotic.
Right. So today's episode is called Why English Learners Sound Like Google Translate When Speaking and How to Fix It. And trust me, we've all been there.
Before we start, quick reminder to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We drop new episodes every week about real English learning struggles and how to overcome them. All right, so let's get real for a moment. Sam, I know you had this exact problem when you first started speaking English seriously. Want to share?
Oh, man. Okay, so picture this. I'm in my first English conversation class feeling pretty confident because I knew all the grammar rules, had decent vocabulary.
Uh-oh, I can see where this is going.
The teacher asks me, "What did you do yesterday?" And I'm like, "Yesterday, I went to the market for buying some vegetables, and then I came back to home for cooking dinner with my family."
Oh, no!
The teacher just looked at me like, "I understand what you're saying, but..." And that's when it hit me. I was literally translating word by word from my native language.
Word by word translation. That's the number one culprit right there. So let's break down why this happens and what we can do about it.
First reason, and this might sound obvious, but stick with me, different languages have completely different sentence structures and ways of expressing ideas.
Right. What sounds natural in your native language might sound extremely awkward when directly translated to English.
But in natural English, we'd say went grocery shopping or went to buy groceries.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. When we translate word by word, we're not just translating words, we're translating our native language thinking patterns into English.
Ooh, that's deep. Can you explain what you mean by thinking patterns?
Sure. So, different languages structure thoughts differently. Some languages are more detailed and explicit about everything, but in English, you can just say, I go to school. Many details are implied rather than stated.
Oh my God, yes. English learners often over-explain things because that's how they structure thoughts in their native language.
Okay, so we've identified the problem. Now, how do we fix it? And I want to be clear, this isn't about abandoning your native language thinking completely. It's about learning to think in English when you speak English.
Right. Think of it like this. When you speak your native language, you don't translate from English in your head first, right? You just think and speak naturally.
Exactly. So, tip number one, and this is going to sound weird, but trust the process. Start thinking in English for simple daily activities.
Ooh, like internal monologue switching?
Yes. Instead of thinking in your native language and then translating, I am very hungry, let's go eat, try to think directly, I'm starving, let's grab some food.
That's actually brilliant because you're training your brain to form thoughts in English patterns from the start, not native language patterns translated to English.
Exactly. Tip number two, and this one changed everything for me. Learn phrases and expressions as chunks, not individual words.
Oh, chunk learning. Can you give us an example? Sure. Instead of learning go, grocery, shopping separately and putting them together as individual words, learn go grocery shopping as one complete unit of meaning.
That way your brain stores it as one natural expression, not separate words that need to be assembled each time you speak.
Bingo! And here's a practical way to do this. When you watch English content, pay attention to how ideas are expressed, not just individual words.
Right. Like if you hear, I'm running late, don't break it down word by word. Understand it as one expression, meaning I'm about to be late.
Perfect example. Now, tip number 3, this one's going to hurt a little, but it's necessary. Stop being afraid of making mistakes with grammar.
Ooh, controversial. Explain that one, Sam.
So, here's the thing. Many English learners are perfectionist about grammar because that's how they learned English in school. They spend so much mental energy making sure every sentence is grammatically perfect that they forget to focus on natural communication.
Ah, I see where you're going with this. It's like being so focused on playing each note perfectly that you forget about the rhythm and feeling of the music.
Exactly. Native speakers make grammar mistakes all the time in casual conversation. They say things like, me and John went to the store, instead of John and I went to the store.
Right, and they say, I could care less when they technically mean I couldn't care less. But communication still happens perfectly fine.
The goal is communication, not perfection. It's better to say, I'm super tired, gonna crash early tonight, naturally, than I am extremely fatigued and will proceed to sleep at an early hour this evening, perfectly.
Okay, so we've covered thinking patterns, chunk learning, and letting go of grammar perfectionism. What's next?
Tip number 4, and this is huge, start using contractions and casual language like native speakers do.
Oh, yes. English learners often avoid contractions because they're taught that I am is more correct than I'm.
But here's the reality. If you always say, I am going, I will do it, I have been, you sound like a robot. Native speakers say, I'm going, I'll do it, I've been.
And it's not just contractions, it's also casual expressions. Instead of, I understand your point, native speakers might say, I get what you're saying, or, yeah, I see what you mean.
Exactly. And speaking of casual language, let's talk about filler words and natural pauses.
Ooh, this is interesting. English learners often try to speak with no pauses or fillers because they think it sounds more fluent.
But that actually makes you sound more robotic. Native speakers use like, I mean, all the time. It's natural.
Right. When you're thinking of what to say next, it's okay to say, let me think, instead of just awkward silence.
Perfect awkward silence demonstration there, Jordan. Now, let's get practical. Here are some exercises you can start today.
Exercise 1. The daily routine narration. For 1 week, try narrating your daily activities in your head using natural English expressions.
So instead of thinking, I am going to brush my teeth and then I will prepare breakfast, think, time to brush my teeth, then I'll whip up some breakfast.
Exercise 2. The expression replacement challenge. Every time you catch yourself using a formal, translated expression, try to think of a more natural alternative.
Like if you say, I am very pleased to meet you, immediately think, nice to meet you, or great meeting you. Train your brain to default to the natural version.
Exercise 3. This one's fun. The casual conversation simulation. Practice having imaginary casual conversations about everyday topics.
Yeah, like pretend you're texting a friend about your day, but say it out loud. Dude, work was crazy today. My boss was being super weird about the deadline, and I'm like, seriously?
That sounds so much more natural than, today at work was very challenging. My supervisor was being unreasonable about the deadline, and I found it quite frustrating.
Now, I want to address something important. Some of you might be thinking, but what about formal situations? Don't I need proper English for job interviews or presentations?
Great question. And the answer is, learn to code switch. That means knowing when to use casual English and when to use more formal English.
Right. But here's the key. Even formal English should sound natural, not translated. In a job interview, you might say, I'm really excited about this opportunity, instead of, I am very enthusiastic regarding this position.
Both are polite and professional, but one sounds like a human and the other sounds like a textbook.
Exactly. And you know what? Native speakers can tell the difference immediately. They might not consciously think, This person is translating, but something feels off.
It's like the uncanny valley effect, but for language. Technically correct, but somehow not quite right.
Perfect analogy. Okay, let's talk about some common translation traps and how to avoid them.
Trap number 1, overusing very. Many English learners love to use very in every sentence because it's a simple intensifier.
I am very happy, very tired, very hungry, very excited.
It becomes repetitive and unnatural. Native speakers use variety, like I'm thrilled, I'm exhausted, I'm starving, I'm pumped.
Trap number 2, unnecessary prepositions. Discuss about, emphasize on, explain about. These come from direct translations from other languages.
Right, in English you just discuss something, emphasize something, explain something. The extra prepositions make it sound clunky.
Trap number 3. This one's subtle. Wrong question formation. You are going where instead of where are you going?
That's because different languages have different question formation patterns, but English has its own specific word order that you need to learn.
And trap number 4, literal idiom translation. Every language has idioms that don't translate directly. Learn English idioms as English idioms.
Ha! Yeah, don't try to translate idioms from your language into English word for word. Learn how English speakers actually express those ideas. Okay, so we're getting near the end of our episode. Let's do a quick before and after demonstration. Sam, give us a Google Translate version of talking about weekend plans.
This weekend, I have a plan to go to visit my friend's house, and we will cook some foods together. And maybe we will watch some movies in the evening time.
Okay, now the natural version.
This weekend, I'm hanging out at my friend's place. We're going to cook something together, maybe binge watch some movies later.
Huge difference. Same information, but one sounds like a human and the other sounds like, well, Google Translate.
The natural version uses contractions, casual vocabulary, and flows more smoothly. Plus, it sounds like something you'd actually say to a friend.
And here's the thing. Both versions are grammatically acceptable, but one creates connection and the other creates distance.
Before we wrap up, I want to say something important. This journey from Google Translate English to natural English takes time. Don't be discouraged if you don't see changes immediately.
Absolutely. Your brain has been wired to think in your native language patterns for years. Rewiring it to think in English patterns is a process, not an overnight transformation.
Be patient with yourself, but also be consistent. Practice these techniques daily, even if it's just for a few minutes.
And remember, the goal isn't to sound like a native speaker overnight. The goal is to sound like yourself, but thinking in English instead of thinking in your native language and translating.
Perfect way to put it. Your English should sound like you, natural, authentic, and confident.
All right, everyone, that's a wrap for today's episode. If this helped you realize why your English might sound a bit robotic, and more importantly, how to fix it, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more Real Talk English learning content.
And drop a comment below. Tell us, what's one Google Translate habit you're going to work on changing? We read every comment and love hearing about your English learning journey.
Next week, we're diving into why English learners are amazing at grammar but terrible at small talk. And yes, we have solutions for that too.
Until then, keep practicing, keep it natural, and remember, your English doesn't have to be perfect to be effective.
All right, see you next week, English So-So family.
Peace!